go take it. That was a tough way to go out. What do you think was the difference in this one and the first two?
We gave up too many offensive rebounds. That was all.
What has this ride just been like with these group of guys?
It's been really fun. This group was really special. Came together, did some great things. And, the end goal was to get the banner, but we didn't. But, we got brothers for life from this group.
You say brothers for life. You guys came together within 1 year. What is that like to have that kind of chemistry with these guys?
It's special. Not everyone could do that, especially with new team, new staff. But it just shows to everyone's character and how everyone's selfless. And, it just shows to each and every individual on this team.
How do you want this team to be remembered in terms of being the first under Coach Pope?
We was just a resilient group, came together. Nobody probably believed in us when we got here, but we believed, and that's all. I think we did some great things this year, and accomplished a lot. So.
You talked about offensive and defensive rebounds and that kind of being the difference in the game. Just what was not working for you guys?
They were being more physical. That was it. We should have hit them more, and they beat us to the boards.
What did Pope say to you guys afterwards?
It's just expressing his gratitude for us and, how well we did this year. And obviously we didn't accomplish our goal, but, it's just more fuel to the fire for next year. And, he's just showing how proud he was of everybody.
There's so many seniors on this team this was their last ride, and just what does it mean, do you think, for them to have this be their last ride?
Yeah, it's bittersweet. It was a great year, but, we lost. So it would have been better if we would have won and that was their last ride. But, I'm so grateful and thankful for all the seniors that played and, came to practice every single day and worked hard. And I'm just thankful.
What kind of a foundation do you feel like you guys kind of laid down for the future here?
Just having some grit and being resilient. Obviously, this is Kentucky, so excellence is, that's expected. So, we just gotta keep on trying to be great, and I hope we set a good tone for what's to come.
It's hard to put into words, to be honest with you. This whole journey, this whole year has been something that you dream about as a kid, and it's tough to, end the season like this, but I can't be more proud of just this group. A lot of people came into the season not thinking we were going to be any good, so, just showing the resiliency that this group has and where we've gotten to since the beginning of the summer, I couldn't be more proud.
What is this moment like for you, knowing that this is kind of it?
I don't know, it's tough. I think it hasn't totally hit me yet, to be honest with you, but I also knew that my season was over pretty early, so obviously this is really tough. It's even tougher to see how hard it is for my teammates, but I don't know, it's a lot of emotion.
How do you want this team to be remembered with Coach Pope being its first year? You know him, just how do you want that team?
Hopefully, we struck some life back into the heart of BBM. I think even though the banner was the goal, I think everybody can agree in this locker room that also what I just said was also a goal of ours. Just winning BBN over and hopefully giving them something to remember us by and spark life back into this program and hopefully put us on the right path to win that banner.
Just what did you see that went wrong for you guys tonight against Tennessee?
I don't know. The basketball is not really important to me right now.
What was Pope's kind of message to you all as soon as the game was over? You'll come back in the locker room. What was kind of the message like from him?
Just how proud he was of this group and all the things that we've been through, and just fighting through adversity, getting to this point. Like I said, a lot of people didn't think we were going to be here, so just the fight that we put up this whole season, showed the resiliency of this group.
I know the season got cut a little shorter than what you all wanted, but your 1 year at Kentucky, what's that been like for you? Kind of looking back over it all.
It's been huge, life-changing, honestly. Like I was just saying, it's something that I grew up, watching the other greats come here and build their legacy. So, man, it's been a ride, and just the people in this locker room, the people I built relationships with. I mean, it's going to last a lifetime. So, you know, just trying to soak it all in.
I know you talk about how special this year, but can you talk about your relationship with Mark Pope and just how special that's been over the last few years? And obviously tonight's going to be the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. He took a chance on me. You know, just being here in this locker room, around these guys, to have this jersey on, to be able to say I've played for University of Kentucky, I can't thank anybody else but Mark Pope. You know, I know this isn't the end-all, be-all for our relationship. We're still going to talk on a daily basis. I mean, that's my guy forever. So, you know, just looking back on all the memories we had, like I said, I just can't be more thankful.
And to be a part of this team, obviously Mark Pope's first team in Kentucky, just what did that do for you?
It's huge. I mean, hopefully we go down in the history books, even though we didn't get number 9. I was just saying, but I hope that what we've done this season, you know, has struck the heart of BBN, and hopefully it's, you know, lit that flame back into them and putting us on the right path to getting that 9th banner.
I know what you want others to take away from it. What do you take away personally from this season, and what will you remember most?
Just the relationships I built, to be honest with you. Basketball is important, but, you know, being a great person is what's most important to me. I know it's what's most important to Coach Pope, and we got a great group of guys in this locker room. Like I said, we're going to be together forever regardless of if we have that jersey on or not. So just, you know, like I said, soaking in this moment as a team and doing it one last time. It's really all I'm thinking about right now.
Can you appreciate what you all were able to accomplish this season, getting to the Sweet 16 and all that?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I just feel like a lot of people doubted us, you know, because we wasn't like 5-star recruits and all the hype behind our name. And but once we came here and put it all together, you know, there was all on us and stuff. But I feel like this team fought to the end, you know, and we opened up a lot of eyes.
What do these seniors mean to you?
They mean a lot, you know. It's just more than basketball, like I've been saying. Just off the court, you know, they taught us a lot of life things, you know, kept me in order. But you know, I'm just missing it.
What was coach's message after the game?
It wasn't even basketball, just thanking the guys, you know, just didn't have no words for it, just because like it's just surreal right now, I say. But you know, I'm sure we'll have a last team meeting, you know, in the future. But it wasn't like words about basketball, just, you know, thanking the guys and what the guys had to say.
On the floor, what was different from this game between the other two players?
Yeah, I just feel like they executed very well. They was making every shot. They had a lot of energy, and they just came out on top today.
You got a lot of offensive rebounds. What was going on?
Oh yeah, you know, just put that on the bigs for real. Just because they're bigs, was I feel like they killed us tonight. You know, we let our team down, say, but you know, I ain't gonna hold baggage on my shoulder. You know, it's just part of basketball. So moving on to the next.
Yeah. Brandon, for you, I mean, what do you think kind of the off-season looks like? What do you kind of really want to emphasize heading into next year?
Yeah, just, you know, standing in the gym, standing in the lab, just becoming a better basketball player. So.
What will you remember about the people in this room this season?
Just off the court stuff, you know, it's just not about basketball with them. I feel like we made a long-time friendship. You know, we didn't know each other coming in, and we created that bond, so I'm going to just miss the guys.
How do you describe the job Mark Pope did on the fly to put this team here in late March?
Yeah, you know, he's a great coach. Everybody knew that. They picked the perfect guy for the perfect job. You know, he led us far, and I feel like we opened up a lot of eyes, and a lot of people doubted us this year.
Brandon, they hurt you guys tonight on the glass. Was that the big difference between this game and the first two?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it was just an obvious thing, but I feel like we just always got killed on the glass. I feel like they wanted it more tonight, but you know, it's just part of basketball. You know, you win, you lose some, but tonight was just a tough loss for us.
What do you think you guys, in terms of the foundation laid, is, you know, Mark Pope's first team? What do you think you guys accomplished in terms of laying that foundation?
Yeah, you know, just for the next group of guys that's coming in, you know, just they know what they're coming into. You know, winning program, great time coach. You know, and it's just no letdown from here.
Last thing you want to do. Thank you for talking with us. How do you sum up the emotions of right now?
I mean, it's tough. It was just a tough outgoing even from the start of the game, and just like all season, my guys have fought all the way to the end, and I'm proud of them for that. But it just ain't always so.
Fought all the way to the end. I mean, you outscored them in the second half. How do you feel about just how the first half went, and then how you tried to come back in the second?
I mean, like this score kind of shows, we dug too deep of a hole in the first half to kind of get back in the second half, and that happens in basketball. They went on a run, and the run was too long, and it was just kind of tough. But it's just the way basketball goes. So.
Obviously, a lot of emotion in this game. We could see you getting a little emotional there. What was going through your head as time was starting to dwindle there at the end?
It's not even about who we're playing. I'll just say, just being out there with the guys for the last time, and just, that's my last college game, and that's just what I was thinking of in that moment, and the guys next to me. So it was definitely tough. I was able to snap out of it quick, but even in the locker room, it was tough I had to do. So.
Amari, tonight was your last college game, but also the end of your only season at Kentucky. What was your experience this year being a part of this Kentucky team and a part of the BBN?
I mean, my experience was great. It was like no other. Even from when we all came on campus together, not knowing each other, it's definitely been a journey. And I'm just thankful for the guys I've been on it. Just thankful for BBN for accepting all of us. So.
What allowed this team to get so close in such a short amount of time?
I would just say the personalities we have on the team. I feel like we're all kind of out. I wouldn't say all of us, but a lot of us are outgoing people, and we're just able to bond quickly. Always hung out with each other, and I think that was really it. Just knowing that we had a whole summer together, it wasn't really much to do, and it just had to do what you did with the people around you. So I feel like that made us close for sure.
Amari, when you look back on this year, how many what ifs will there be just because of the injuries and the injuries so concentrated in one position?
I mean, I don't really believe in what ifs. I feel like God has a plan, and that's just the plan what we was given, and regardless of all the injuries or everything what happened, the losses we had, it was all a part of the journey, and I wouldn't change it for any other. So I feel like that's what I would look back at this experience. So.
Can you explain what they did differently in this game compared to the other two?
I feel like they just knew our shooters very well and knew our actions. I feel like none of the cuts or the handles were really working in the first half, and that's when they went on the run. And by that time in the second half, when we figured out we had to be more aggressive, it was kind of too late, and that's why they kind of took off in the first half.
To see Lamont go out there and battle, I mean, we know he's been hurt for the better part of the SEC season. What does it mean to you, and what does it mean to this team to see him still fighting like that?
I mean, it means a lot. That just shows our togetherness too, and just knowing that he literally put his body on the line for all of us. And it's happened for a lot of guys throughout the season. Andrew had a major back injury, which isn't something to really play about. And he still wanted to go out there and fight for the guys. And even our injured guys, Jackson Curtis. There's a lot of guys who have had something throughout the year and just kind of fought through it just to be out there with us. So it definitely means a lot. It shows what kind of team we are.
I think just the resiliency of this team. We've had so many games. It's just it felt like everybody resembled what a person is that doesn't look to make excuses. It doesn't look to blame anybody else. But I think we had so many good moments of that. Not even like the ones that might stand out to the fans, or like the Duke game, the Gonzaga game, but there's so many little moments of responses in practice that we got to experience, and so that resiliency was inspiring to me as a basketball player. What has made this experience so great.
You're part of the youth of this team, despite the loss. Is there some excitement still moving forward with how the season was overall?
At the moment, it's hard to pick that out right now. To be honest, it's hard to feel that kind of feeling. I think we're all pretty gut-wrenched right now. But I mean, we're as sad as we are. I know we're going to be proud of what we did and what we accomplished together. But that doesn't take away from we're competitors. We wanted to go farther.
No, you just literally walk off the court. Can you appreciate what you all were able to accomplish this season?
I mean, yeah, these guys, they amaze me every day. I can't say enough good things about my teammates, and that's honestly what's so sad about right now is just as a special group, and just one bad night like this, and it means the end for our team, which is really, really tough. So yeah.
You talk about this being a special group, and I know you've heard everybody else talk about what makes this team special, but what do you think has made this team special this season?
I think just like the egoless culture that was brought in, I'm very grateful for that, because I came in, didn't really feel like I had anything to have an ego about right now, and but that's what it felt like with all the rest of my teammates. They all had great success at their schools before, but you wouldn't be able to tell by just being around them. They're very humble, and I think that's what allowed us to grow so well together and to trust each other. They're just good people. So it's really sad that we don't get to do this again.
And can you talk about your personal journey? I know that you talked about questioning yourself a few weeks ago, whether you thought that you belonged here, and obviously you've worked your way back into the fold and got that confidence back. But what will you take away from this year, just kind of that journey from what was to this?
Yeah, there's so many moments of learning and of like, well, of what am I like? It's just like being in the refiner's fire of like being torn all the way down just to be built up again. It's kind of what it's felt like, and I think I've learned a great deal from that adversity of trust and patience, and so I don't expect the rest of my career to be much different. I know there's going to continue to be adversity, and that's just part of growing. Is what I've learned is you're never going to be comfortable doing that, and so learn to deal with not being comfortable. So I'm sure it's going to be like that for the rest of my career.
And be part of Mark Pope's first group at Kentucky, what do you take from that?
Say it one more time.
To be part of Mark Pope's first group here at Kentucky, what do you hope people take from that?
Well, I think being at a program like this is anytime you're part of this program, it means you're a part of history. And being part of this era of basketball at Kentucky is it's meant the world to me. It's so special to put this jersey on every day. I mean, I think we did a good job at reminding each other not to take it for granted. We're all blessed to be here, so we're grateful.
What do you want?
I mean, you can tell that he's felt that he loves this group that we've had, and I think he's feeling what we're all feeling, is the gut wrench that we're feeling, that we don't get to do this again, especially with so many guys leaving. Man, we had one shot at it, so I think that's what we're all feeling right now. Is not too many amazing feelings, but I'm sure those will come later in remembering what we did together. But I think his words were just his gratitude for us.
And I hate to ask this question, but it's got to be asked in this day and age of college basketball, but will you be returning to Kentucky next season, or have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about that whatsoever. I know it's probably chaos out there right now, but we've been focused on what we're doing and being present with this group and focusing on the goal that we've had.
I mean, the time that we just sat there in our sweaty clothes just joking around we probably have days on end that we going on. If we would have went straight and showered, we would have had 100 hours back. But I mean, no, that was some of the best memories that we'll make, and it'll definitely be remembered.
Something that both Colin and Travis talked about was just, learning about the DNA of Kentucky basketball, the foundation set by this group of guys, and specifically the leaders. Just what does that look like to you in terms of things that you hope to pass on to younger players in the future?
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky basketball, I mean, it's special and it's sacred for sure. I mean, it's the mecca of college basketball, so to be able to experience it for year one is incredible. So to be able to take it with me throughout and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely learned a lot this year.
You mentioned the wisdom that you learned from some of the older guys. Is there anything in particular that will stick with you, or maybe a couple things that you learned throughout the year that you had no idea was this fundamental to playing college basketball and being part of a winning team?
Yeah, I mean, I could write a book about it, to be honest. I mean, there's so many little things, but even like kind of off the basketball court, I mean, these people are great humans. That's kind of the biggest thing. Be able to make connections and lifelong friendships with these people. It's just that's kind of the beauty of it.
What was the biggest thing you took from playing for Coach Pope for 1 year that, again, you can maybe pass along in future years?
Yeah, I mean, he just instills confidence. That's kind of the thing one of the things that stick out to me. I mean, he's just so fun to play for and so loose to play for. And just take away basketball part. I mean, it's just great person, and that's who I want to surround myself with. So, an incredible human being.
Obviously, they hit the offensive boards, did a great job tonight. Were there other ways that they were just much better than you'd seen them the last couple times you played with?
Yeah, it was just Tennessee's not tonight. I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. They're the better team tonight. Congrats to them. They're really talented.
I was just walked off the court because you put it in perspective what you guys were able to accomplish this season.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It is heartbreaking now, but I feel like we'll look back on it here coming up and just kind of rewatch all this stuff and see how many special memories and special things that we got to make and get MBB. And I mean, we didn't get the ultimate goal. I mean, that's obvious, but yeah, it was definitely an incredible year.
How special is this guy?
Yeah, it was. I mean, they mean so much to me. I mean, being able to. We've been together for I don't know how long, like well under a year, and I mean, some of my best friends. I mean, it's kind of crazy how close we are and how quickly we bonded and gelled together. And yeah, I'll have these people for the rest of my life.
You never know what's going to happen in the freshman year, and here you are playing meaningful minutes and increasing as the year went on. How do you feel about the way your year went? How motivated are you to just get to work in the off season and get more?
Yeah, I mean, just to have the privilege to even put the jersey on. I mean, it's incredible. I just can't wait to get back to work and just try to give State of Kentucky what we want, and that's hanging a banner. Came short, and anything other than the banner is a letdown for sure.
What was Pope's message to you all after that, kind of in the locker room? What was kind of like his overall message to the group?
Yeah, kind of just bringing us all in and then sitting together one last time. I mean, it's over, so everybody will be going their separate ways. Especially, I mean, the senior. We have so many seniors on the team. I mean, they'll be doing their thing. So I mean, it's tough for sure. I mean, this is one of the last times we'll all be together, so kind of just soaking it all in.
What was it like being under the first team with Mark Pope? You know, kind of setting the new culture for what's to come. You know, kind of how do you want this year, the first year under Mark Pope, to be remembered?
Yeah, I mean, I thought this year was incredible. I thought the group of guys that we had in the locker room was extremely resilient. They're great people, and that's what makes it even more special. I mean, when you get to do it with good people and people that love each other, it just means a whole lot more.
So you made I just love these people in this locker room.
Trent, you got to wear a Kentucky uniform you've dreamed your whole life of wearing. What did it feel like this year, in this first year, to get to experience it with the guys that you got to experience it with?
Yeah, I mean, it means the world to me. Being able to wear Kentucky across my chest and play for this state and BBN. Yeah, I mean, it's just an amazing opportunity that I had, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing like big the nation.
What were some of the messages from some of the guys like Kobe and Jackson and Lamont, Ainsley, multiple others, Amari, but what was the message from some of those guys to you guys in this emotional locker room after the game?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of being together and sitting together one last time. I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, that's the tough thing about sports. I mean, one team has to win, one team has to lose, and unfortunately we were on the losing end tonight. But I mean, that doesn't take away what bond and stuff that we've all built.
Trent, you've been a fan your whole life. It seemed like you guys brought some unity to this fan base and really laid some groundwork for the Mark Pope era. Did Did you kind of feel that as you guys were going on this year? You were laying the foundation for something special.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was the first year, so we knew that we had to go out and perform for sure. I mean, and just be able to play for Big Blue Nation and in the state of Kentucky, and yeah, I mean, it was everything that you could ever dreamed of.
Now being in this program and being under Coach Pope, what would be your message to the BBN as far as what the future holds? And maybe not just for yourself, but for this program, for this team. After you've seen the work, that you've seen the wins, the losses, what's the message for BBN?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely in great hands. I don't think it won't be slowing down anytime soon. He's a great person at the head. I mean, I love playing for Coach Pope. He's such an incredible person as well. And that's what makes it special, the bond that we have with him. It's just a great basketball coach. You can put that part aside, but he's just a great human being, and you're just somebody that you want to go out and play for.
Hey Trent, what did Tennessee do differently this time compared to the way you were hanging out?
I mean, they executed, they hit some shots, and they guys out of our rhythm. I mean, they're a good team, and compliments to them.
2 meetings where you guys won them both.
I feel like they came out really strong. They got their guys going early, and I think that was something that was big for them. And they kind of controlled the physicality of the game, which was something we were trying to control from the beginning. Just their resiliency, you know, when a team like that, that's such a great veteran team, gets a lead, it can kind of just, you know, play the game out the way they wanted to. It's hard, but I'm really proud of the way that our guys fought. They fought very hard.
Is there one area you kind of feel like if you guys just done this a little better, maybe the result could have been different?
I feel like the offensive glass for them was really important. They rebounded the ball very well offensively. You know, just having some guys crashing hard. Felt like we defended them pretty well, and the ball just seemed to fall into their lap a lot of the times. And sometimes that's just how it shakes out. But still, like I said, I felt like we were fighting really hard out there, and just had some missed opportunities.
I don't know how much thought you get into it, but like, what does offseason look like for you in terms of what you really want to work on and focus on with your game?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to get better at, obviously, and just really just want to get back in the gym and get to it. You know, this one's gonna hurt for a while, a good while. But you just got to kind of turn that into fuel and try and turn it into something special for us.
Well, I mean, you know, Charlie, I have to ask this in some modern day college athletics. I mean, certainly the plan is for you to be back.
Certainly.
I mean, I assume, but
that's why we were able to have so much success this season. Just being able to come together and truly care for one another has been really big for us. And you know, these are guys that none of us knew each other 365 days ago, and now we're best friends. So it's crazy how life works, crazy how a place can bring you together, but just truly blessed to have these guys in my life.
I know it's not the ending you guys wanted, but to still make it to the Sweet 16 in your freshman year is still pretty spectacular. Just what do you take from this experience?
Yeah, it's just a blessing. You know, every game we get to play is a blessing. Every time we won another game and got to have another practice together, that was just a blessing. And I think we all recognize that. You know, for a lot of the guys in this locker room, it's no matter how you shake it, it was going to be one of their last college basketball games. So to be able to be a part of that for a lot of them is just something that, you know, we'll cherish. Being able to be a part of their last ride, it means a lot for us. And being there to hurt with them, being there to enjoy it with them, it's just been really a great moment for us.
You know, I mean, obviously, I'm just thankful for even being able to put on the jersey and, you know, to be able to help us win some games. You know, obviously meant a lot too. The fact that people are gonna, you know, remember me for things like that, it definitely means a lot. You know, so I'm so thankful for being able to be a part of this tradition.
And so the transfer portal opened this week, so obviously a lot of kids are going to be hearing the same pitch that you got this time last year. Just what would be your advice to them as they get that first phone call from Mark Pope and kind of get this process started that you did this time last year?
You know, it's a great tradition in college basketball. You know, so you pay for a great coach, great coaching staff. You know, you have the best fans in the world behind your back. You know, it's just a once in a lifetime opportunity, so don't let it pass you by. You know, take advantage of it.
What was kind of Coach Pope's message to you all kind of after that, you know, your last game together for most of you? What was that message kind of like?
You know, just, you know, thanks us for, you know, being able to taking a risk on him. You know, there was nothing here when he came. So we all took a risk to to you know, be able to put on his jersey, but we believe in him and he believed in us. So just thanks us for that, and thanks for coming out every day and, you know, fighting through everything we fought through this whole year and just going out there and giving it all we got.
How do you want this team to be remembered?
You know, just we went through a lot of adversity, went through ups and downs, and you know, we went out and fought every day. You know, we were some fighters. You know, we never let anything pass us by. We're grateful. We're all grateful for our opportunity, and we fought hard for this university.
Kobe, you guys seem to get really close, this team, in these short months that you guys were together. What kind of legacy do you think this team leaves to the BBN, being Mark Pope's first team?
Yeah, I think he's proved that. You know, I feel like the University of Kentucky's in good hands. You know, with the coach. I really feel like there was no other man for the job. I think y'all got the right dude. And, you know, he talks about how we're the team that, you know, kind of brought that juice back to Kentucky. So, I mean, it's something to be proud of. You know, it's not the way we wanted to go out, but I'm just happy that we were able to do some special things.
How would you summarize, just in a few words, your experience being a part of the BBN for the solo year you were here?
Yeah, life-changing for sure. I mean, it's been everything I wanted it to be and more. Like I said, you know, I wish it would have finished differently, but man, just this whole year has been a blessing for real. Just since I walked into campus and being able to come in with a group of strangers, and now they're like my family. You know, they're my brothers. So, you know, I would have never thought that we would bond this close when the year started. But just a special group of people, and just around the whole facility, the coaches, the staff, everybody's been amazing. Not only to myself, but, you know, to the team, and they contributed a lot to why we've been having a successful year.
Being a part of Mark Pope's first team and some of the history that you guys have made, what do you guys want this group to be remembered for?
Yeah, a team that, you know, that played for the name in the front of the jersey. You know, nobody came in here for themselves. You know, everybody came for one common purpose, and it was to win. And we weren't able to do it. But I know for sure that everybody that laced up those shoes in the game every single time, you know, we all played for the name in front of the jersey. So I know we were all about the right things.
And kind of along those same lines, we're talking about what you want others to take from it. What do you take from it personally? Just kind of the journey from the off season up to now.
Yeah, it's incredible what you can do in 1 year. You know, just like I said, you know, I came in here not knowing what to expect. Honestly, it was totally new for me. You know, I was in the same school for 4 years, so to be honest, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. You know, when I first stepped into campus, I didn't know what it was going to be like. But you know, BBN, like, they had open arms for me, so that made everything a lot easier. And, you know, just being with these guys, like, they're great guys. You know, they're my brothers, so it's like, that's not going to change. But yeah, it's unbelievable what can happen in 1 year.
You talk about taking a chance as a transfer. Do you have a message maybe about potential transfers in Kentucky?
Oh, yeah, I mean, Coach Pope, he's just an amazing dude, and not just him, but, you know, the whole coaching staff really just, I mean, imagine if this is what he can do in 1 year, imagine what he can do, you know, having some more time and, you know, and more experience, you know, coaching here and everything like that. I think it's a no-brainer, in my opinion. I know for sure he's changed my life, and he's done the same for this group. And I know that he can continue to do it, so he's only going to keep getting better from now.
You guys got so close. What is your relationship?
Yeah, no, he's just really genuine. You know, from the first time I met him, I felt the generosity that he had. He really cared about, you know, winning, and, you know, cared about you as a person, and wanted you to grow more as a person than as a player. But you know, he really, you know, led us all year, and we were able to make this incredible run. And you know, we kind of fell short of what we wanted to accomplish, but the things that we've done, you know, throughout the whole year, but even off the court, the bonds that we made, the people that we impacted, the community that we impacted as well. You know, BBN was great, and, you know, we were just out there, just having fun, trying to you know, prove people wrong, and, you know, out there winning. Yeah, I gotta be ready. Hopefully it's great, man. I think it's gonna continue to bring in, you know, great guys and people who are really, you know, care about the name name on the front of the jersey, which is Kentucky, and the history of it. And, they got to go out there and play hard every day to go out there and win a championship.
We saw him put his.
If you could point to something specific, what happened out there? What would you
Talking about tonight in the game, I think we just kind of. I think the offensive rebounds was the key thing that we focused on. We kind of really did good the first two games that we didn't, really do good this game. I think they had 13 or 14, which is just too much for a team of that nature who has really good shooters, and to give them second chance points is really tough to come back from that. And I think that's just kind of what the difference in the game was.
We saw Coach Pope putting his arm around you after the game, walking out toward the locker room. What was he telling you?
No, he was saying he was proud of me. I was crying and stuff. I had a bunch of tears, but just sad about the moment. But he was just saying he was proud of me, and just proud of everything I've been through. And I went out there and led my team, and he just said he couldn't wish anything better for me.
Now that you say everything you've been through, now that the season's over, is it a torn labrum?
No, I'm all good. I'm all good.
You could have quit so many times. Nobody would have blamed you with the shoulder injuries you've gone through, and to keep coming back and keep playing. What did you feel in that moment to make you decide, I want to keep going with this team?
I just wanted to go out there and be with my guys and play and compete with them every day. It kind of killed me to be out and not playing with them. And seeing them, go out there and play, but I was just ready to go out there. I was doing all the treatment, and me and Brandon Wells every day was just like from 9 to 5, just every day tackling the shoulder, trying to get it healthy enough for me to go out there. So I just wanted to sacrifice my body and my game for this team.
Yeah, from 9 to 5, man, that's a full-time job.
Man, it was a long time. Me and him got really close, but I'm very grateful for him. He's put a lot of time in. He probably was with me more than his family, so I'm definitely grateful for him. They're gonna have him for a long time.
Absolutely. We got so many questions from BBN about your game level. What would you tell BBN about what you were playing in that way?
My shoulder was hurting really, really bad. I think I was able to get it to about like 80%. Kind of like towards the end of the season. Like now, I'll say it's like around 80%. But I was just out there trying to win. So at that point, I wasn't even thinking about the shoulder. I was just trying to go out there and play.
Of course, you told us all week you just don't want to lose. You just hate losing. What was going through your mind in those final 5 minutes or so?
Yeah, I was just trying to find a way we can come back. Despite whatever lead they had, I was trying to find a way that we can either get a steal or get a run going. It didn't happen, so that was tough. But I'm just really proud of the effort everybody's put in throughout this whole year. It's been up and down, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of injuries and things like that. We faced a lot of adversity, but to see us kind of bounce back from that, you kind of see everybody's will and really just glad that they were able to go out there and have a great year for us.
If BBN could remember one thing about this team, what would you want them to remember about this group?
Ooh, one thing. Man, I don't know. One thing is tough, but I think everybody just laid it on the line. Even the guys that didn't really get to play, like Jackson and Kerr, who kind of had season-ending injuries, like they put their body, their soul, their heart, their blood, sweat, and tears on the line for everybody out there. And I think all these seniors and this really the whole team. People were just out there just wanting to win, for each other, for BBN, for Coach Pope, and just wanted to prove others wrong. A lot of people didn't think we'll be in this position today that we are. So. Just really proud of everybody.
What's your emotions going to be like when you take this uniform off the last?
Yeah, it's tough. I was crying earlier. I don't know if you can tell now. I'm kind of over it, but it's really tough. We went through a lot this year, a lot of adversity. I'm just really proud of how everybody bounced back and we're able to come together and love one another for this for this amazing university.
The build here.
Yeah, certainly, and I think that the foundation goes way more than just on the court stuff, and for all of us, just really super proud of how everybody engaged with BBN. In the community, was able to try and serve the state of Kentucky and really tried to understand and really embrace what it meant to be a Kentucky basketball player, and so to be able to really kind of lose yourself in those types of moments is really special for everybody, and really proud of everybody for that.
Looking back at your time here at Kentucky, what are you going to remember more, your time on the court or off the court?
Oh man, you always remember the stuff off the court. Certainly, I think this is the most fun team I've had, closest group I've had. We just off the court love hanging out with each other and spending time with each other. We've talked about that all year long too. It's been a common theme. Whether we win or lose or whatever happens, that's really been the common foundation of what this team is. And so certainly sets a standard, and for all these guys coming back, that they know what it's like in a culture, locker room type of standard there. So,
do you have a specific favorite memory over the year?
I would just say even we went on a amazing retreat as a team at the end of the summer. We got to have a whole bunch of fun playing on the lake together, kind of doing water games and things like that. But then also we got to really grow closer together, get super vulnerable with each other, and really get to know each other a whole lot better. So that definitely sticks out to me as an amazing moment for us.
What was it about the personalities on this team that clicked so well? Because as you know, it's hard to get the pieces right on the court, but it's probably even harder to get them off the court.
For sure. I think that starts with Coach Pope and the type of people that he's looking for, and then also just how much he emphasizes it and embraces it and encourages all of us to spend time together. And then you get a couple really great people who want to lead and try and bring everybody together, and then it becomes a whole lot easier because you set standards, you set habits early on, and that's kind of what we were able to do, and then from there it became more natural just to really spend time together a whole lot more than most teams.
Andrew, for a guy whose journey started at Delaware, what did it mean you to get to wear that jersey?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that walking in the hallway. Not even a year ago I would have even possibly believed that I'd be at Kentucky, and so for me it's just a surreal moment to be able to actually be able to put on this jersey, and certainly don't want to take it off, but it's really to be part of the Kentucky family is something that I get to bring with me forever, and it's pretty amazing. Just out of your wildest dreams, never believed it.